All right, during a testy hearing on Capitol Hill yesterday, Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin reaffirmed his threat to pull customs agents from airports in so-called sanctuary cities.
It wasn't punishing sanctuary cities. It was sanctuary cities refusing to allow local and state enforcement officers to respond when we called. Their response was, we don't have the resources. Well, if they don't have the resources and we have to pull the resources someplace, I'm not going to pull them from other regions.
So the cities that you have said you would withdraw from, you're not going to do it now?
No, I did not say that. I said as long as they're willing to cooperate with us. When they say they can't respond, local and state officials, because they don't have the resources, then I have to get the resources from someplace. And I pull my officers as a whole through DHS.
CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya Galvez joins us now on set to explain all of this. Camilo, good morning.
Good
Always
morning.
great to see you. Help us understand what the secretary means and what would happen if his plan to pull agents actually followed through.
No, it's a critical question, Errol. U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents are, right now as we speak, screening travelers overseas who are coming to the U.S. International travelers are the ones who check your passport, your visa, your green card, and who decide ultimately whether you can be allowed to stay in the country legally. And for weeks now, the Homeland Security Department, including Secretary Mullin, have floated the idea of trying to punish or penalize sanctuary cities who do not cooperate with the administration on immigration enforcement by pulling customs agents from their airports. So cities like Newark, New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, other Democratic-led cities, and you can imagine the chaos that could unfold if that actually materializes, because you would see many flight cancellations likely. You could see flights being diverted to airports that do have sufficient number of customs agents, and that all could happen amid the World Cup or before, right after, when we expect millions of visitors coming to the U.S. to watch the matches. Right now, it is not a concrete plan, but the secretary is making it clear that the administration is willing to take that drastic action to put pressure on sanctuary jurisdictions that, again, do not cooperate with the administration on immigration.
And as he kept saying, that's if the local jurisdiction doesn't offer more resources or support for what they want to do. So we'll see what happens on that front. But Democrats also grilled the secretary on conditions at Delaney Hall. This is the immigration facility in New Jersey. We've seen major protests outside. What did he say about that?
Well, the reason for the protests, the genesis for that week-long round of protests and clashes is conditions being substandard according to detainees, Democratic lawmakers, and authorities in New Jersey. That has been the allegation. Some detainees, according to the governor of New Jersey, have undertaken a hunger strike over the substandard conditions, allegations of inadequate medical care, spoiled food, and other subpar conditions. The Department of Homeland Security, including Mullin, have categorically denied that a hunger strike ever took place and that the conditions are substandard. He said during the testimony that that facility, Delaney Hall, has had 0 violations cited by the New Jersey Health Department, but now the dispute is that the New Jersey Health Department is alleging in a lawsuit that it is not being granted unfettered access to the facility to actually make that determination in the first place. So that is now a legal battle that is brewing. And of course, this is the latest flashpoint in the debate over immigration in this country, Errol.
And before the secretary took this role, ICE and DHS were under pressure because of the killings of Americans in Minneapolis after the ICE crackdown there. He now says he wants to change ICE training requirements. What might that be?
Well, under the tenure of Secretary Noem and acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, the ICE training framework was shortened by several weeks to expedite the hiring and onboarding of 10,000 new additional ICE agents. Democrats raised concern about that leading to potential misconduct or ICE agents not having the adequate and necessary training to conduct their duties amid increased scrutiny over their actions, including in Minneapolis. Now Secretary Mullin is saying that ICE will actually be reverting and now going back to that original training framework and will continue with the weeks-long training process at an academy in Georgia.
So some changes under this new secretary. We'll see what materializes. Camilo, thanks so much.
Thanks, Errol.